and one of them shall not fall to the ground except for the Father's will. Worry you, therefore, worry not, therefore, for you are of much value than many sparrows. But I have said before, I am the second sparrow. Alright? But now, it is also written that heaven and earth shall pass, but not a jot of my word shall pass, until all is fulfilled. For verily I say unto you, among those of you standing here today, there are those of you who shall not taste of death until the kingdom of God comes. Which generation? You, this generation. This generation shall not come to pass until the kingdom of God comes. But isn't the kingdom here already? And she was meant to be adorned in precious stones like a bride prepared for the groom. But yet again we ask, why do the disciples of John the Baptist fast more often, but the disciples of Jesus don't fast? Let me ask you, can the friends of the bridegroom fast while the bridegroom is still with them? How can they fast? Therefore, do not worry what you shall eat or what you shall drink or what you shall wear. Isn't life much more important than this? Look at the birds of the air. They neither plow, they neither sow. But now you, being evil, you know how to give good things to your children. You being evil, you know how to give good things to your children. What of your Father who is in heaven? And therefore, forgive, so that you can be perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. For if you do not forgive your brothers of their trespasses, neither will your Father in heaven forgive you of your trespasses. But they say that God is Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. God is the purest of the pure, the ultimate abode. And such is the nature of Jesus Christ. Okay? Such is the nature of God. You know, at one time, while reading the Vedic literature, I made a suggestion to the spiritual world. Why can't we just change the name of God to be God? Acheni Mungu, aitwe Mungu, acheni Mungu, aitwe Mungu, nasema acheni Mungu, yeye aitwe Mungu, acheni Mungu, aitwe Mungu, acheni Mungu, aitwe Mungu, acheni Mungu, aitwe Mungu, nasema acheni Yesu, yeye aitwe Mungu, acheni Mungu, aitwe Mungu, acheni Mungu, aitwe Mungu, acheni Mungu, aitwe Mungu, nasema acheni Yesu, yeye aitwe Mungu, acheni Mungu. Yet I live in my Father, and my Father lives in me, so I and my Father are the same. I live in my Father, and my Father lives in me, so I and my Father are the same. And yet, he who will come, he shall open his mouth in parables, and he shall speak of things that have been kept secret from the foundations of the world. And whatever he shall speak, those will not be his words, but the words of the Father, because the Father will be speaking through him, just like the Father spoke through the first sparrow. Not his words, but the words of the Father. But you, when it's nearing to rain, you say that the weather is foul, and therefore it's gonna rain. And when it's shiny, you say that the weather is fair and it's not going to rain. You hypocrites. You can discern the seasons and tides, but you cannot discern this You cannot discern this time. You cannot discern this time. How is it that you can discern the seasons and you cannot discern these times? And therefore, he who shall be the first shall be the last, and he who will be the last shall be the first. He who will find himself shall lose himself, and he who will lose himself for the sake of my name shall find himself. He who is not with me is against me, and he who scatters not with me, he who gathers not with me scatters abroad. He who will be the servant shall be the master, and he who will be the master shall be the servant. And therefore, whoever amongst you wishes to be a master, let him be the servant. Whoever wishes to be a master. Because even the master served. The master was here and he served. An attribute of God, humility. Someone told me back a while ago that humility goes a long way. Trust me. Jesus confirmed it. It goes a long way. For whoever humbles himself is usually exalted, and whoever exalts himself, abased. Abased. Do you know where abased is? 6 feet under, based. For even David called him Lord. Apparently he called him Lord. I could have thought God will be better when he said that. And my Lord told me, sit down and wait until I make all your enemies your stepping foot. Until I make all your enemies your stepping foot. Brethren, we do not serve a mediocre God. By all means, we do not serve a mediocre God. We serve a living God, whom it is written that, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Jesus came so that we could have life and have life abundantly. Not just see maisha nusu nusu. Jesus came so that we could have life and have life abundantly. Okay? Do people light a lamp and place it under the bed? Then what is the essence of lighting the light? Do people light a lamp and place it under the bed? No. But you, when you light a lamp, you place it on the lampstand. And those who are in darkness see the light and come out of darkness to light. And therefore, a city that is set upon a hill cannot be hidden. A city set upon a hill, it cannot be hidden. But Jesus is the light of the world. Jesus is the light of the world. I am the way, the truth, and the light. The way, the truth, and the light. No one gets to my Father but through me. But again, he who will be the first shall be the last. Who is the first in the book of Matthew? Jesus. Who is the last in the book of Revelation? Philadelphia. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a copper coin, and one of them shall not fall to the ground except for the Father's will? Are not? Therefore, a bruised reed shall he not break, and a smoking flax shall he not quench, until he sends forth judgment to victory. And I say to you, for verily I say unto you, among them who are born of women, there has not risen one greater than John the Baptist, notwithstanding that he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. But all the laws and the prophets prophesied until John. And therefore, love God your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And the second is unto it, love your neighbor as you love yourself. But there are 3 things that are intrinsic with the soul during the process of soul transmigration, and that is sense, mind, and intelligence. intrinsic with the soul. So, those of you who have practiced the Hare Krishna mantra, you will understand specifically what I mean by love God, your God, with all your soul, with all your heart, and with all your mind. And the second is unto it, love your neighbor as you love yourself. On these two laws hang all the prophets and the laws, says the word of God. On these two laws you shall hang all the prophets and the laws. And that is why the philosophers were hanged on these two laws. Socrates was hanged because of those two laws. Plato was hanged because of those two laws. Aquinas was hanged because of on those two laws hang all the. Let him who is the greatest amongst you be the least. Let him who is the greatest amongst you be the least. Basically, let him who is the greatest amongst you serve God. The greatest amongst you should serve and must serve, because God, or Jesus, to be specific and precise, Jesus is not a mediocre God, brother and sister, brethren. Jesus is the only living God. The guy created the world alone. Okay? So this guy is a sole entrepreneur. He bears all the risks alone and all the profits alone. And that's why it is written in Haggai chapter 2 verse 8. The gold is mine and the silver is mine, says the God of hosts. Everything is his, including you.